Hey, what's up, guys? Tukey here, back again with another episode of my San Jose Sharks franchise mode series right here on NHL 20. And today, we begin our second season with the team. Now, right out of the gates, let's make something very, very clear. If Erik Karlsson gets hurt at any point this season, I will never let you live it down, okay? If he gets hurt, even once, because we're playing him on the top line like so many of you want me to do, rather than focusing on line chem, we're just putting people where they should be. If he gets hurt, I will never let you forget it, and I will never forgive. I can hold a grudge with the best of them. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Hopefully Marc-Edouard Vlasic starts to bounce back as well, because that's a nightmare of a contract, and we'll see how Ryan Merkley does in his rookie year. Offensively as well, we have made some changes. Logan Couture is going to be playing the left wing just because his faceoffs aren't as good as Tomas Hertl's. So we'll see what we can do. Now, again, last year, we did very well. Sure, Marleau and Sorensen were on the top line with Evander Kane, but we did very well. We lost in the playoffs, mainly because somebody couldn't make a save. That's right, Martin. Talking about you, buddy. And yeah, that could be an issue again this season. Odds are, eventually, we will be firing Martin Jones out of a cannon far, far away from the state of California. But for now, for this season, we are again going to suffer. And hopefully it works out relatively well. So you see this team, you see the changes that we've made. Hopefully, again, someone like Dylan Gambrell can adapt to being a full-time NHLer. Next to Thornton and Sorensen, decent chances for him to succeed from an offensive standpoint. I'm intrigued to see how this team does, how effective certain players ultimately are. We'll see how this season goes. But from there, we are pretty much good to go. It will be a very sim-heavy episode. Scouting setup, everything is good to go. Just to get a look at our ratings, obviously Vancouver will have some minor league players, but 91, 90, and an 80 in terms of ratings. Very, very respectable. Brent Burns, our top player, even though he is now 35 years old, which scares the ever-loving hell out of me, because he's still got a long way to go on that contract. He'll retire before the end of it, but when the mission is to be competitive and to still try and win, with so many of our key players being, mid-30s or older, it's a weird team to control out of the gates, which is exactly why we picked them. So let's see what we can do this year and what the team will look like. And gotta bet I'm pretty scared of certain injuries to certain players, but we'll see what happens. Two big ones to start. Oh my God, I thought that was going to be Karlsson. Oh, you got lucky. Every single one of you got lucky. It is Kevin Labanc, though, who is ultimately injured. A fractured ankle. He'll be out until the end of November. And again, in terms of the players that we have, it's not looking good. So your Tyken, I believe is how it's pronounced, will be on the second line moving forward until we, end up making line changes or whatever and see that it's not exactly working out. Thus far, though, we're absolutely killing it. 6-1 on the season. The one loss to Tampa, although we do lose to Detroit as well. The lesson there, do not play on Sunday. It's bad news for us as we pick up our first shootout loss of the year. We play Pittsburgh, then the month, and finish the opening month with a 9-2-1 record. Not too shabby, as Evander Kane, again, off to a hot start. Hopefully he doesn't completely disappear down the stretch, but 18 points in 12 games. Let's see how your Tyken's done next to Kane and Marleau. He is a sniper, so he pretty much fit in right as we wanted him to, although actually Labanc was the two-way / power forward of the line. And much like Kelman last year, he's fit in very well. 5 goals and 2 assists in 9 games for Daniil Yurtaikin. I'll take it. Doing quite well. How's the top line looking? Decent. Only 1 goal so far this year for Timo Meier. That's shocking. Third line, 5 points for Sorensen, 7 for Thornton, 4 points for Gambrell. Not too bad, I suppose. The fourth line, not overly effective, but not exactly detrimental either. a +6 for Hayden Fleury. Erik Karlsson scored, goalless this season, but 14 points in those 12 games. Vlasic back up to an 83, so he rebounded very quickly, which is nice. Burns, only 8 points in 12 games, considering he finished over a point a game last year. That is a shockingly slow pace for the, potentially the leader of this team. Ryan Merkley does have his first NHL goal. He's a +7 next to Tim Heed, who also does not have a point, but he has a +5 because, damn it, Tim Heed is a shutdown defenseman. Martin Jones is crushing it right now. Good God. Aiden Hill, not so much, but Martin Jones, lights out. Man, Kevin LeBanc was doing really good, too, through those first 3 games. If Martin Jones, and this is a pretty big if, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. It's a pretty big if. It's doubtful, if not downright impossible. But if Martin Jones can continue to play to this level, things are going to be looking very, very good for us this year as we beat New Jersey and Arizona by the combined score of 9-1. We beat Nashville 6-2. The offense is killing it, except for that game. Defense and goaltending also looking good. Fun. Isn't that fun? Sure. Yeah, you do that, EA. You do that. Of course. Martin Jones gets hurt. That's just terrific. Thanks. We needed that. We needed that so much. Oh, boy. Coronar is not doing well in the AHL. Booth is. So we're going to call up Callum Booth, and he will be the backup behind Aiden Hill for the rest of the year. That way, of course, Soderstrom might get some playing time in the AHL as well. So, Aiden Hill, you haven't done well for us. We went with you. Well, actually, in fairness, he's turned it around lately. We went with him over bringing back Aaron Dell, and we'll see whether or not that was the right choice ultimately. Let's get Soderstrom into the AHL lineup. So, of course, we went with a pretty big overhaul as Gavrikov is hurt down in the AHL. We went with, quite the overhaul in terms of goaltending as Kevin LeBanc is back. Let's take one more look at your Tyken here because he did pretty damn well. Jesus. Between he and Kelman, I don't know what's up with that, but that is tough to turn away from. I mean, I have no choice unless I want to drop Marlowe down to the third line, which I don't. I mean, Gambrell's up to a 78. We need to keep playing him. It'd be dropping down Sorensen. That sucks. I mean, hey, at least we know we have somebody who can put up points. I mean, you wouldn't expect much from a 70 to 71 overall guy, but if we have someone who can do that as our depth forward, I like our chances. I don't like our chances too much after getting crushed by Colorado and St. Louis back-to-back. Gavrikov's back, but I'm not too worried about it. We'll fix the AHL lineup later on. Barracuda not off to a crazy start. A trade for Alex Chiasson, which I will decline. If I want to make any changes to the team, I will do that in my own time, although we just lost back-to-back games to the Ducks. We do beat the Vegas Golden Knights, and we beat the Oilers as well, and Columbus on the final day of the month, not the season. So 19-5-3 as of December 1st. Pretty damn ridiculous. Not that last year wasn't good. It was a very good start for us last year. You know what's ridiculous? That we're not even in first place in the division. Jesus Christ. No wonder why we lost to Anaheim. We're crushing it, much like we were last year. 69 locker room chemistry is very nice, of course. We also had a game at hand on Anaheim, so we're looking okay, all things considered. Let's see what we have here. Logan Couture, 25 points in 27 games. 26 and 27 for Hurdle. Don't know if the dog sneezed in the background would have picked up on the mic. It was adorable. And Timo Meier, only 5 goals, but 25 points in 27 games. He's a power forward, man. He should be able to do a little bit better than that. I mean, we could change Hurdle to a two-way to try and get the offense going, but I mean, Hurdle has 12 goals. So, I don't know. Timo Meier needs to step it up a bit. Evander Kane, 28 points in 27 games. Patrick Marleau doing quite well as well with 21 points. LeBanc, 10 points in 12 games. Sorensen, 12 points this season, 15 for Joe Thornton, 8 points for Gambrell. The fourth line looking a little bit shaky. It's looking a little bit rough. And really, it's Alex True who just hasn't been able to step into this lineup and really do what we need him to do. Not looking for crazy point totals, especially with the time on ice they're getting. But you need to be at least defensively solid. And with our record, there's really no excuse for anybody to have a minus on this team. I mean, I guess if you're not getting as much ice time, it kind of makes sense. But so I'm thinking Zach Gallant or Vorobiev to get a chance to play the same role. Could be Maxim Latunov as well. High 9 at a 24. Vorobiev high bottom 6 at 23. Decent skating for Vorobiev. I might go with Latunov here. He's not exactly killing it in the AHL either. But something's got to change with that fourth line. I want to try somebody else there. Let's, God, do we go with Vorobiev? Again, True, it's not working here. Let's do the basic move of swapping the wings and seeing if anything changes before we make lineup changes. Hayden Fleury looking pretty good next to Erik Karlsson. Second pairing, and Burns isn't doing that well. Merkley and Heed still doing all right. Goaltending wise, it's rough. And I mean, really, it's a big part of the reason as to why we can look at these players and say, oh, well, plus minus isn't looking great. Defensively there are some concerns, and that is because the goaltending is rough without Martin Jones. And even with Martin Jones, half the time it's still pretty bad. The good thing is he's back, he's healthy. But what version of Martin Jones are we going to get now that he is back to 100%? That is the question. He has had a phenomenal season thus far, but at the end of the day, it is just through 9 appearances. We'll see what we can do now that he's back, and he gives up 6 goals. Unless that was our backup. So we end up beating LA and rebounding. Kevin LeBanc was roughed up, but he's back to 100% as the win-loss continues. Can we beat Washington? We cannot, so we've lost 3 out of our last 4. Rebound win against Chicago. A lot of games against LA as Zach Gallant goes down to injury. With the Barracuda, we get crushed by Vancouver before beating the Kings again. Calgary, not looking that great. So I think, again, the one thing I forgot to do, and I always forget it because I just get such tunnel vision with the team, is Thomas Hertl's out. That sucks. The one thing I forgot to do was to see where the big free agents from last year's class went. I'm sorry for that. I don't think anybody mentioned it in the comments, but I just realized that looking at the injuries or something reminded me oh yeah, shit, I didn't look at that. Whoops. Happens a lot. Oh, good. We're getting all the injuries. Erik Karlsson's down. Tomas Hertl's down. We still have 27 wins on the season, though. 1 point behind the Ducks with the game at hand. The Canucks are also right there. It's a very close division right now. So despite us having a pretty damn solid record, the Pacific is, it's a battle. It's a battle. So what we're going to do for the moment is swap Couture and Yurtaikin. We'll just continue to leave him there. Defensively, Simic and Fleury is not ideal. So what we will do is move Simic there. Burnsy can go there, although, that's... Oh, the pluses are so nice, though, especially when you go +3 with Tim Heed. Top pair, Tim Heed. You can't stop it. It's happening now. I have an excuse. I don't. We'll move up Brent Burns again. And we'll play... Actually, we have... Yeah, we have quite a few two-ways and DFDs. Let's do it that way. Heed, Vlasic, Fleury, Burns. Works for me. So we'll leave the players that, replace the injured guys. Jesus Christmas. So remember when I asked what version of Martin Jones are we going to get? unfortunately, the answer is not the good version. Not the good version that started this season. We are without Hurdle. We are without Erik Karlsson. We are without Daniil Urtaikin. Jesus Christ. Oh, by the way, Erik Karlsson got hurt and it's all your fault. You thought I forgot, didn't you? That's what happens when you play Erik Karlsson on the top pairing instead of sheltering him until the playoffs. This is your fault. Apologize to Erik Karlsson. Brian 5 or 6 is on his way to your house right now to just punch you right in the face and throw your TV out into the lawn. So you better lock down that television. And, God damn it. Okay, well, we have injuries. That's the first issue. First and foremost, we have injuries. And the top guy we could call up is the Blichfeld, who is not doing very well. There's also Noah Gregor, who is not doing very well. So, Blichfeld, congratulations. You're going to get the call up because this roster is in a state of crisis right now. So we're going to go best lines. Maybe, if it wants to load. Thank you. So Karlsson, Urtaikin, and Hurdle are all hurt. Isn't that fun? Spoiler alert, it's not. It kind of sucks. So defensively, that's the game plan for the moment. On the offensive side of things, we're going to keep the fourth line intact. Thornton, Marleau, Couture. Let's get LeBanc back over there. Put Sorensen. Sorensen stays on the top line. Let's do it. Blichfeld will be with Thornton and Gambrell. And as far as the AHL team's concerned, we're just going to go best lines. Oh, boy. Okay. There is a defenseman having to play forward. That's not going to help it. There might not be much in the way of neutralizing that rating. The game really doesn't like that. Like, they really don't. So what we're going to do is the old playing, double shifting Kevin Stenlund approach. That's the way we're going about this. What's the worst that could happen? We will double shift Kevin Stenlund and just drive his career into the turf. Holy shit, Dave Simone and Roy looking pretty good. I still forgot to look up how to pronounce that properly. I don't know if it's Roy or Wah, and we'll never know for sure because I'll forget to look again. Unfortunately, that +5 needs to be broken up because otherwise, the team's in a state of flux. So there we go. That's the lineup moving forward. 3, make 4 straight wins. I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. Jesus Christ, we're cruising. We get to 30 wins. The offense killing it as Tomas Hurdle is back from injury. How Blichfeld's up a point. He wasn't a detriment. And that's pretty much the best way to judge, even more than the point total. It's like, hey, plus minus, as long as you're not getting completely shelled, I'm cool with you. Again, plus minus in real life, not a great stat. In this game, it's the only thing we really got to go off of. And at the very least, Blichfeld wasn't getting absolutely shelled on every shift. So that's good. As the team is set and good to go for the moment. And we'll run with that again. I want to check Alex True. He's doing better. Overall, not bad. Could be seeing some better numbers, but overall not bad. It all comes down to the goaltending. And at least for the moment, it's looking all right. So we'll go best lines again down in the AHL. Okay, there's a -2 there. Split those guys up. And what is the one way we can make this work to not have there be the minus issue? Trying to avoid the minus issue. There we go. Chekovich and Gregor. Swap those two over, and we're looking good. Can we beat Tampa? Yes, we can. Very good Tampa team. We do lose to Washington, but we do get the pity point out of it. And Jesus Christ. I don't remember us having this bad of injury trouble last year. So either we're just having bad luck, or, maybe a certain other issue with Erik Karlsson being hurt, and it's totally your fault. Just saying. We do need to call up another defenseman. And unfortunately, waivers, big issue right now. I don't really want to lose DeSimone. I can call somebody up, but then they'll have to sit, for the rest of the year. It's probably going to be DeSimone. Because Roy can still improve, but DeSimone's 26. So while he's really good for the AHL, I mean, it's him, Gavrikov, or Carrick. Maybe I'd rather have DeSimone playing the full time and have the team benefit from him playing. Let's call up Trevor Carrick. Let's call up Trevor Carrick. He'll be the healthy scratch for us, or one of the two healthy scratches on defense next to Simic for the rest of the year. Quick changes like that, and we're good to go. Again, defensively, I actually like that. Merkley and Burns is a very interesting pairing, but it does get the desired results. That works for me. It was Carrick. Yes, he was playing in the AHL. We'll go best lines. That gets Hobbs in there. Oh, God. Perfect. And we get to keep the +5. You'll love to see it. So that is the team. Again, a lot of bad luck this year on the injury front, but Erik Karlsson's healthy. Very nice. Unfortunately for Trevor Carrick, that means he wouldn't have been in the lineup for all that long. Gambrell up to a 79. I don't know if that's legit development or not, but I will take it. And we will go with Burns on the second line. I feel like it's more important. To, try to keep Karlsson happy rather than Brent Burns based off of the age gap. So we're going to run Merkley and Karlsson, Fleury with Burns, Simic, and Tim Heed as we move forward. Let's see what happens. Middle of January, we beat Dallas as well. Vlasic is healthy, so that's good. I mean, hey, a little bit tedious, of course, to mess with the lines, but hey, in the meantime, that's how we get to find out that someone like Daniel Teikin is worth keeping around and actually a useful player. So let's go with... That works. Merkley and Karlsson's not a bad pairing. Fleury and Heed works out pretty damn well. Martin Jones with that 904. And we'll keep moving on. Penultimate game of the month before the Totally Not All-Star break. We get absolutely spanked by the Winnipeg Jets. As again, the San Jose Barracuda not exactly killing it this season. They're a 500 club. And your Teikin is back from injury. So forward-wise, we have 10, 11, 12, and 13. We need to send down a defenseman. If we lose Trevor Carrick, so be it. We did not. So there you go, Trevor. Back to the AHL with you, where you get to play on a subpar team. Unfortunately, it's a little bit disappointing that the AHL club's not doing better, but it is what it is. And again, quick change there, and everybody's happy. And down in the AHL, best lines, swap that. Nope, I gotta go that way again because Carrick ruins everything. Forward-wise, oh God, Chekovich and Grigor, that doesn't work this time. Gallant and Dahlin, oh God. There's gotta be a solution here, I just don't know what it is. What is the answer to not have that minus? Why does it feel like Jonathan Dahlin just doesn't get along with anybody? It's all his fault. What is the solution here to not have a -3? Jesus. Can we just go with the minus? Yeah, screw it. -1. That works. Don't care. It's good enough. We don't have to worry about micromanaging that team. They're not doing very well. It's February 1st. We have 34 wins on the season. We are currently top of the Pacific Division with 31 games remaining, 5 points clear of the Ducks. Let's get a quick look at how this team's doing in comparison to everybody else. So again, the 73 points, where are we in terms of the league? We are the second best team in the NHL behind the Tampa Bay Lightning, one of two teams to break the 70-point plateau at this stage in the season. In the Metro, Pittsburgh, Washington, Philly, and the Rangers, all in the playoff structure at the moment. The Atlantic, it's Tampa, Boston, Florida, and Toronto. Detroit down there in the basement. The Central is Chicago, Colorado, Minnesota, Nashville, and St. Louis. So the Central, relatively strong compared to the Pacific, although the Pacific is pretty close. I mean, 5-point difference, though, between Vancouver and Vegas. The Kings are terrible. Absolutely terrible. So goals for per game, we have the league's second highest scoring offense behind the Blackhawks. The Kings have the worst at a 2.57. Goals against at a 2.86, which is bottom 6 in the league. Highest is the Kings at a 3.7. Our power play is mid-table. I forgot to look at it before. And our penalty kill is also mid-table. So all in all, not too bad right now at all. Erik Karlsson, though, all that missing time, he's still our top scorer. So for forwards thus far, Couture's been great. Meyer's been great. Evander Kane's been good. Not amazing. I mean, when you're paying him $7 million, I mean, it could be a bit better. Hurdle, 39 points in 46 games. Marleau, 36 points, 34 for Thornton. Kevin Labanc, again, not bad, given that he's missed quite a few games. You have Sorensen still doing very well. Barclay Goodrow, 21 points on the fourth line at this stage is really good. You know, outscoring Gambrell. Daniil Yurtaikin, good God, has 13 points in 17 games. Same as Matt Nieto on the fourth line in 51. And Alex True there as well. At least, you know, getting the job done. Erik Karlsson's been phenomenal. Burns, you know, picked up the point pace pretty damn well. Fleury with 16 points, 14 for Ryan Merkley at this stage. And again, Vlasic with 11. Goaltending-wise, both goalies over a 900 save percentage, but it's not exactly phenomenal. And when we look at this team in comparison, or you know, look at players in comparison to what's going on around the league, in terms of top save percentages, I mean, for starters, 920 is elite right now. Vassy and Bobrovsky. Then you have Jake Allen at a 914. Robin Leonard, Casey DeSmith has played a lot of games this year. Riddick is up there. So it's been meh from a goaltending perspective. Defensively, Erik Karlsson's leading the way. He and Torrey Krug, the only two to break the 50-point barrier. And for forwards, you would have seen Patrick Kane is up there next to DeBrincat, Crosby, Ovi, Malkin. The usual suspects, I would say. Dylan Strome up there because he's got to be next to the other two. For rookies, it's Alex Nylander leading the way. Vitaly Kravtsov, Kirill Kaprizov, and Vladislav Kamenev also in the running. Joe Veleno undergoing his rookie season at this point. So a little bit over the midway point of the season. A quick update as to what's going on. Now, over the next month, we're going to find out for sure whether or not there are any changes we want to make. The good thing is we're the second best team in the league. And when you want to talk about how can we really strengthen this team, I don't necessarily know if we have to. I mean, again, you talk about, you know, if we were to pick up another top 6 guy and push LeBanc or Marleau down, I don't really think we want to suppress Dylan Gambrell. Getting good development out of him this season. We can check to see how much of it is morale-based. I'm not really sure how much we're going to have to do, if anything. My biggest concern right now is that someone like Alex True, you know, defensively might be a little bit shaky, but it's not that bad. And then defensively, I mean, I guess you could say, you know, a rental top 4 defenseman. And then between Fleury and Heed, you sit one of them. But Hayden Fleury's been phenomenal this year. So, yeah, maybe we do push Tim Heed back to, you know, depth defenseman territory and look to find another top 4 guy. And, of course, the biggest issue right now is goaltending. So we can definitely keep our eye. And actually, we'll take a look right now. Now, again, in terms of, you know, who we can trade for anybody. But obviously, I like to look at other teams' trade blocks because it's much, much easier to acquire those players. Jake Allen's on the block for the Blues, which is smart that they actually, I don't know if they would have done that in NHL 19. They're trying to trade him so that they can run with Binnington. Allen this year has been great. That's a massive risk to say Martin Jones and Jake Allen are goaltenders, but that is exactly the type of guy we could pick up to try and shore things up in goal. Kevin Boyle has been good, but he's been playing in the AHL with the Chicago Wolves. Washington's looking to move Ilya Samsonov, but obviously we're looking for more of a sure thing. Let's see who else is around, if anybody. Jake Allen might very well be the only guy we can pick up. James Reimer, 904, so not exactly great. Markstrom, who went to Colorado on a one-year deal. Not great, though. 902. Jake Allen right now is looking like our best bet in terms of picking up a goaltender on an expiring deal who might give us that extra bump in terms of goaltending. Cal Peterson is at the point where he's actually a solid backup. Holy shit. You know, I mean, he's got the extra year on his deal, but Cal Peterson putting up numbers that are very, very respectable. He won't be as expensive as Jake Allen. Thomas Greiss is down to a 76 with the Habs. He's playing in Laval. New Jersey, the Islanders not moving anybody. The Rangers not moving anybody. So I'd say really, wow, Matt Murray held out. Penguins haven't had Matt Murray all year. That's crazy. So, I mean, it's definitely down to Jake Allen or Cal Peterson. Allen's not going to be that expensive, and I do wonder if I were to say, hey, what's it going to cost? Tim Heed, a third and a fourth. Artukin, a fifth and a sixth. That's nothing. I'd be willing to do that. Kuznaev, not so much. Dexter, or a second and a fourth. That's very affordable. That is very affordable. What would the deal be for Cal Peterson? I do wonder. No suggested trades found. Oh, there we go. Fifth and a seventh. So just nothing. Dirt cheap for Cal Peterson, who again, it's oh shit, I just noticed it was the Ontario Reign. Damn it. Damn it. I don't know why I just misread it. I was like, oh, he's with the Kings. No, he's not. And he wasn't that great with the Kings. I think maybe I saw that it was Cal Peterson with the Kings because it's like, Jake Allen. Jake Allen's our best bet in terms of shoring up things in goal. We can afford him as well. That's probably our best bet. And actually here, too, when it comes to defense, let's see who else is out there. Let's see who is out there. If anybody. Braden Point sat out all year as well. That's ridiculous. They just couldn't do anything. No offer sheet for him either. He's a 90. Roman Polak, huh? Nope. Nope. Toronto's trying to move Liljegren and Sandin, but obviously those aren't the type of players we're looking for. I mean, in a way, sure, it'd be nice, but obviously we're trying to stay competitive. Vesalainen doesn't fit. Grant, I mean, Weidman's not any better. He's playing with the Gulls. Weidman's not any better than who we have. Boston looking to move Urho Vakanainen, who's looking to step up to be a full-time NHLer, but he's not there yet. Kyle Pozo. I mean, man, there's like no defenseman on the market right now. Might have to wait until we get a little bit closer to the deadline here. Taves, Saad, and Smith on the block for Chicago. That's going to be Kevin Miller, right? It is. Nope. I love Kevin Miller, but that ain't happening. Justin Abdicator on the block. Nick Holden, Chris Russell, Dion Phaneuf. Holden has 3 years. No, thank you. Go figure. Oh my God, Phaneuf. I know he's in Bakersfield, but still. So Chris Russell right now is the best defensive option out there. Does that instill you with confidence for a playoff push? Didn't think so. Ryan Suter's there, but he's got 5 years left. So that's not happening. Greg Paterin hasn't been great. Montreal trying to move Gustav Olofsson, but he's been playing in Laval. Hasn't been that good. So yeah, right now, in terms of defensive options, there is just Chris Russell or Nikita Zaitsev, who still has 4 years left. So no thanks. So I think we're going to have to wait to see what else is out there. But in terms of potentially picking up goaltending help to shore things up, it's Jake Allen. But at the end of the day, it's Jake Allen.